everyone, this is your host Umi Pandey. Welcome to Wins Publishing. We have our today's author PJ Thobias sir with us, and we will be discussing on his book On the Banks of Connolly Canal. So, sir, first of all, welcome to Evans Publishing. We are really glad to have you, and I'm very looking forward to have this session with you today. I think after having lot of hurdles, finally we are able to discuss, carry on this session. So, sir, at first I would like to request you to give us short introduction about yourself to our audience.
Well, uh, I'm a 78-year-old man living in a small village in Kerala by name Kattur. This is almost on the coast, Arabian coast, the Arabian Sea coast. Now, when I was much younger, and then I worked for Indian Oil Corporation and Castrol. And after retirement, I got the bug for writing. So I wrote a book in 17, I published it. The title is Corporate Comedy. And then in 2000, this year, I published On the Banks of Connolly Canal. Now, this is my writing history and my, profile briefly.
Okay, so sir, how was your experience after writing the first book, the corporate comedy, and can you tell a little bit about it so we can have a background of your writing? Is this your second book, sir? We are going to.
That's right.
Okay. So, sir, I would request you to give a short description about your first book.
My first book is a satire.
Okay.
In fact, I have no previous experience of writing, but it was all an accident. In fact, I never meant to be a writer or anything.
Okay.
But then my friends told me that I must write a book.
Okay.
So on a weak moment, I agreed. And then I was in a quest to fulfill that promise. So the thing which readily occurred to me is to write about my experiences in the corporate world.
Hmm.
So I wrote a satire. In fact, I have always felt in the corporate world, people do not behave as they are themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They behave in a, sometimes in a funny way, always it appeared to me they are play acting.
Hmm.
So that was a good experience. In fact, it rekindled my memories and I immensely enjoyed writing it. That is the main thing.
Okay.
So after I finished corporate comedy, I had no intention of writing another book. But then again,
Okay.
people told me that I should try writing another book. By the time I had relocated to this village from city, and then this is my familiar place. This is the place where I grew up, and all the people and the whole environment is familiar to me. So I thought it would be nice to write a story about the community which used to live on the banks of this canal where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I was a boy. So I went ahead and wrote it.
Okay. So it was really nice to know from you about your journey so far. Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, sir. I think I had some internet problem some time ago, so it's fine now. So, sir, it's quite a interesting journey that you started your writing journey, like after so many times spending your like lifetime in job, and after that you decided to write, and then you thought that you would never write any book again. and again you started writing about the community river, like living near the river. So what the books tells about, what are the contents, like your reader will get after reading your book? Can you give a like just a summary, not the deep? You don't
It,
have
it
to go
is
in.
uh, it is the story of a small community which used to live on the banks of this canal
Okay.
sometime in the 1940s,
Okay.
40s to, let's say, a couple of decades later.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I must say it's all familiar to me, so it was easy for me to write. And I have, while writing, I have been reminded of a lot of my childhood experiences. So juxtapose them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. And the story, it is not a real story which happened, but it is pieced together, and also some of the experience, some things which I heard, some I saw, some I experienced, and some was experienced by other people, which they have told me.
Yes.
So it is an amalgam of all this in this book. So the story, if you are looking for the storyline briefly, are you looking for the storyline briefly?
Yes, sir. Storyline, like storyline. Yes, I'm asking basically about it.
The story is of a young man and his friends, and they grew up in this area together. And as they grew up, they were very close friends. And then on one occasion, when they were to present a play together in the church, uh, it so happened that his friend deserted the group at the instance of his father,
Mm.
because his father had a quarrel with the church. So, in order to get even with the church, he prohibited his son from playing in the drama.
Okay.
So, this actually drew the battle lines between the church and the family,
Mhm.
and also between the friend of the boy and the larger group of friends they have.
Mm.
But because of this action of their friends,
Mm.
they all were reluctant to associate with him later.
Mm.
So they actually expelled him from their group, and
Mm.
he felt himself totally lonely, and
Yes.
also, deprived of all company.
Mhm.
This was a serious mental issue for him.
Mm.
And on one of those days when he was contemplating these issues,
Mm.
he happened to hallucinate a apparition in the form of a dog,
Mm.
which frightened him. And then he became quite ill.
Mm.
And it so happened whenever he went to the prayers in the house, he
Mm.
fainted. That sort of thing started happening. Then one day, out of the blue, someone asked him who you are.
Mm.
The usual question sorcerers ask. So he answered he is Father Narikurikel, who was the father in the church
Mm.
where they were, in the community where they were living. And then they all thought it is the sorcery of this father which
Mm.
has made this boy. Well, it passed off. After some time, he became all right under some kind of treatments, and also under the guidance of another priest who actually taught him how to meditate, how to look into his own inner self, and so on. He kind of recovered. But then what happened is, having been alone and rejected by the community totally, he took to drinks. And then he graduated to drugs. And then it so happened that he was once arrested by the police and put in jail. In the meantime, his father tried to get him out of it, but tried to get him out of the police case and all that, but couldn't succeed.
Hmm.
Then after this incident, he went to his erstwhile friend, who was now in a job and living in Bangalore.
Okay.
He went there and started living with his. In the meantime, his friend had married his sister, so he has become his brother-in-law. So he started living with his brother-in-law and sister. After a while, he took to his old habits of drugs and drinks again. Then the sister and brother-in-law decided that they must rehabilitate him and decided to uh, set up a small business for him. For a while, it went on very well. And then one day, the brother-in-law found out that his friend is using that shop as a gambling den. So that was the final point of departure between them. So uh, he created some trouble for his brother-in-law, and the brother-in-law summoned the police, and all that happened, and he was sent out of the house. Then the brother-in-law fell ill with a kidney disease, and his kidney had to be transplanted. They were finding it difficult to get a donor, and out of the blue, a donor arrived and went to the doctor and said he has come to donate a kidney to the patient by name so and so. And then he put two conditions. He said, I will not accept any gift or remuneration, and you should not divulge my name. So the kidney transplant went off very well, and the brother-in-law was standing in his room. It is the Bridge Candy Hospital in Bombay, and looking through the window towards the building, which sported a board, organ transplant. Then he saw a man coming out of that building with a bag in his hand and walking towards the exit gate. Somehow the man looked very familiar. The same height, the same build, the same gait, and so on. All of a sudden it struck him who it is. He took a step back, and a bolt of lightning flashed through his mind. That is where it stops.
Sir, yeah, that's a quite interesting and appealing story you said. Uh, sir, sir, yes, it's a very appealing story you said. Sometimes, like I had some internet problem, so I couldn't hear in the middle. But overall, it's a like very appealing story. I expect that your readers will love it. So I would also like to know how did your like first book performed as a like market? How do you think?
Yeah, the first I have found that selling a book is a very, very difficult ball game.
Yes, sir.
In fact, I am not much into promotions, and I get fed up with all these promotional activities.
Yes,
So
sir.
I don't pursue them quite seriously. I think we might have sold something like 600 books in the on the first book. That's about all. But one thing I found is after I released On the Banks of Connolly Canal, the sale for the first book has picked up.
Mhm.
People seem to be wanting to know what the hell did this man write in the beginning.
No, no, sir. It's not that. Actually, I have talked with many authors and they said ki we are not into promotions and all. Sometimes we also believe ki promotions and all have snatched the real limelight of the literature, the real story. But at the end of the day, everyone wants to be in the market. Everyone wants to be a best-selling
True,
author. So it's
true.
not like our job to say anything. So it's like I just wanted to know your opinion regarding it. So, sir, what do you think? How this is going to work in the market to your readers? What do you expect?
This book has gained some traction right in the beginning.
Okay.
In fact, internationally, marketing was a good idea.
Yes.
In fact, we have sold an equal number of books as in India in the US,
Mm-hmm.
and also some, a good number in UK.
Okay.
But one handicap I am facing is in the UAE, people are not able to buy it from Amazon because Amazon ships it from elsewhere, from some other country, so that the shipping cost is very, very high.
Yes.
So people in UAE have to source it from India or the US, which
Mhm.
is expensive.
Okay.
But this book has got some traction. I am looking forward to how it performs. So far, we have sold something like 200 books.
Sir, your book gives me vibes of, uh, I don't know whether it's like, it's easy to say, it's true to say that or not, but I have a vibe of Ruskin Bond's literature in your story, just the way you narrated the things, which seems very interesting to me. I really hope that author like readers find it appealing, because nowadays books are flooded with, like, market are flooded with books, different kind of books, so it's
Yeah.
very tough for an author obviously to promote their books. But I believe that this will do a good work in the, like, market. So is there any difficulties sir you faced in your writing journey till so far, like you were not into writing as you said at first, then you started after.
Yeah, there are plenty of hurdles. In fact, many times I have been stalled and I thought I will not proceed with it. And then I go into a hole for a while, maybe weeks together. And then actually my children have been great help to me,
Mm,
because I have a habit of some good passages if I write,
mm,
the next day when we talk, I'll read out the passage to them.
okay,
And their encouragement worked miracles on me.
okay,
In fact, many times I resumed writing because of their encouragement.
okay, sir. That's really encouraging that your children are supporting you, and sometimes it's very necessary. I also support my parents to carry on their passion and like whatever they believe in, because in this journey of life we are too busy in doing our work, our job, our responsibilities, that we forget that we can do something by our own at side. So but there are very few people, so do you know, in world who realize that it's never late to start something, and like you started something after getting retired. It's an like encouragement for like people like us who believe we have not achieved anything. So it's our wishes that sir your book will perform very well in the market. Sir, can you tell us where this will be available for readers, like where they can find your books, markets and all?
It's available from Amazon all over the world,
Okay.
then Flipkart also, then the Evans Pub, uh,
Yes,
they
even the
also sell it.
website obviously. Yes.
Yeah, uh, these are the places where it comes from.
Sir, to be a writer, you have to read also. You have to also know about the literature little bit. So, as a reader, also, do you have any specific author which you follow?
Yeah, I have the my favorite authors are Herman Wu is a favorite author
Okay,
for me. In fact, I started by reading his book Cain Mutiny.
okay,
Then I also read Wilbur's I like the his expeditions in the wilderness of Africa.
hmm.
And then another author I like is Salman Rushdie.
Yes,
I
sir. Salman
actually,
Rushdie.
I had difficulty in understanding,
Yes, sir.
but what I do is I plow through with the dictionary at my side.
Yes.
But I find it a great value because uh, there is a tremendous increase in the vocabulary,
Yes.
in our own vocabulary, and the allusions and references that he brings to the book are many times I refer back to either Wikipedia or Google and find out what it is. So it is very, very interesting because the history is opening up in front of you, and it is as though you are seeing a new world altogether. So in my writing also, more than selling the book or anything else, it is the pleasure that I derive by writing, which keeps me going. I derive immense pleasure by writing.
Sir, that's really great that you have accepted that it's not about why do you write. You write for your own pleasure because you love writing. And it's like here, from here we learn that it's very necessary to know why are you doing these things, because you may write, you may dance, you may sing, but for what you are doing that, you have to have that reason. I'm really happy and I'm really fortunate to have a talk with a author like you. And like Evans Publishing is also very grateful to have you on our platform of this discussion. We really had a great discussion today. Initially, sir, we had problems like internet and all. Sometimes we also have to face problems in internet. We can't rely on this. No matter how much like we develop, we will have always problems. But sir, after the end of the session, I'm really happy that we talked and we had a meeting. I wish you best of luck for your book, and anything if you like to add for for your readers in future, like anything you would like to say from your side.
All that I have to say is my books are not aimed at preaching some profound philosophy to the world, which I consider myself totally incapable of doing. But I certainly can assure you that the ordinary folks will find it a great, interesting piece. So it is for the reading pleasure of the ordinary folks that I write, not for giving them any profound ideas about the society or life. So I recommend on your journeys and whenever you are traveling or when you are, taking rest, it will be a good book. Both will be good books to browse through. That's my recommendation.
Yes, yes, sir, definitely. I would like completely agree on that, because obviously being an author is difficult thing, and being an author whom your readers understand your perspective, it's like more difficult thing, because we might fill our books with philosophical quotes, our own ideologies, but like at the last, if your readers won't able to understand that, won't able to find any pleasure reading that, there is no point. So I believe that whatever you were saying is completely true.
Some of my friends have told me that my writing style is very interesting and the prose is very rich and good. So that provides most of the pleasure to the reading public. It
So
is
though I haven't read your book
not
yet, but
like themes
like
of philosophy or anything.
this sounds very appealing. The second book you said right now, I would definitely like to read it. And as you said, some of your friends say the way of writing is very interesting. I definitely have to look on that.
Yeah, that will be very nice. And it will be very, very kind of, uh, you know, uh, flattering to me.
No, sir, it's not flattering. And definitely, I would like to let you know about my reviews and feedbacks after reading your book. But for now, Evans Publishing wish you a lot of wishes for your book and hope this does very well. Hope your readers love it. And thank you so much for having this session with us today, sir.
One last question. Where do I look for this Where will you upload this to?
Uh,
Events. I mean, this events page,
yes,
is it?
yes, sir. We will upload it on Instagram. We also have our page in Facebook. We'll upload there this interview.
Hmm.
Hope,
Will
like,
you give me
yes,
will you give me a ping when you upload it on Facebook and Instagram?
yes, sir, yes, sir, definitely. I will send you the
Notify,
link.
please notify.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you so much.
And thank you very much, Omid.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Bye then.